Hey everyone, Eric Gossard here with All In Real Estate. I've got my partner in business and life, my wife Sarah Gossard, here with us
everybody.
today. We're going to be talking about the driver behind this business in Hillcrest Ventures, what we've created, what our mission is, and what we're looking to bring to you guys as a community. We're really excited to get the conversation moving, and
Yeah, we are.
happy to have you here with me to get that moving.
Thanks. This is right up my alley, so this should be fun today, guys.
Well, you can tell we're both comfortable behind the camera, but we'll work through that. So as you know, we're all about making your dreams realty. So with that theme of everything real estate, we're going to talk about our passions, our drivers, and bring some of those relationships and some of that dialogue to you guys. Be bold with all of the work that you do. Don't play it safe. That's one of our mottos. That's a step in this direction. Neither one of us are personalities behind cameras, but we're excited to be here and be here for you guys and for our business as well to continue to blossom here locally within our community.
So I guess let's start with tell me a little bit, or tell all of us a little bit about why you got into real estate and started this show, podcast, whatever you want to call it here. Where did your inspiration come from?
Sure. So that's a great question. My inspiration comes from my community and the people around me. For those of you that do know me outside of this relationship through the camera, I'm all about relationships and helping other people. Real estate is something that I've always had a passion for, as you know, and we've shared that passion. But my main priority and goal through all of this is helping other people, especially those here locally within our network and in our community.
Okay, great. So a lot of our inspiration came from my obsession with HGTV, not going to lie. I mean, how many hours have we spent Saturday mornings just binging it for years? And no time better than the present to kind of start something that we've been kind of fell in love with over the years. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so we know the passion about DIY. We've been doing that for years. So tell me, what made you take the jump to get your real estate license?
Sure. So it was something that I always thought would be passive for me. The audience doesn't know this, but we have a rental property. We're looking to add to that. And so that was the main theme and driver outside of helping other people to get my real estate license. And there was just enough of a calling there that through COVID, with some downtime and some available time that we've all had over the last year, I was able to apply myself to a course, get through that test. Not the easiest test in the world, but
you love test taking so much.
That's correct, as you know. And so really was able to get my license to be able to help others buy and sell homes along the way as well.
That's awesome. So what do you feel kind of the focus is of this journey?
Sure. Well, I think the answer of that is pretty simple. It's all about, again, helping other people. There's a lot of information out there that you can gain access to, but if this can be a centralized place, and I can be a centralized resource for people to buy and sell, whether you're a first-time homeowner or somebody that is upgrading into a different place in your life, this show and the relationships through contractors, DIY, whatever it may be, decor, that's a shared passion of ours. Yeah. We know through Hillcrest Ventures we're in a position to help other people. And so,
mainly because we've made all the mistakes
correct.
Over the years. We've been there, done it. We've bought, sold, had an older home, had a townhome, have a rental property. So we feel like we've just got the resources now that maybe we can help you prevent some of the mistakes that we've made.
Absolutely. And it's all about trusted relationships, growing those trusting relationships where people know that they can depend on somebody here locally to help them through what I phrase is handling one of the most expensive assets that any of us will ever own in a home.
All right, so we've talked a little bit about kind of how you got started and what your passion is for this journey. And obviously we're so excited for all of this. And somehow, I don't know, as a nurse, I'm getting folded into this with I love real estate, I guess I could say. I secretly just love to creep on people's houses. Sorry, guys. I really do. I just love to see what other people are up to and what they're doing and how they're living. And it inspires me to help me design my home and make it a place where I can make memories with my family and friends. And that's where my passion folds into this. It's how can I make my home feel welcoming where everyone wants to be there and have a party, have a glass of wine, have a big cheese board. Especially with my daughter, her favorite food is charcuterie. So it's how can we make this home feel welcoming, and how can I design a home to make it feel welcoming? And I certainly have no background in design other than I just love it.
So maybe at this point, Sarah, we talk about all of the change that happened for us in 2020.
Change? Did anyone have change? I don't know that we had change.
Would
you call that?
We
change?
Had a lot of significant change, including living with your parents and my in-laws for almost 6 months last year in 2020.
Yeah. If you got questions about that, we moved into my parents who are empty nesters, 3 kids, a nanny, a dog. It was a trip. And in COVID, in quarantine. So.
Yes.
But we're all speaking to each other still, so I feel like that's a win. We made it 6 months.
Yes.
But the whole purpose that we did that is we had sold our home in Carmel. And we're building a new home. And I guess we, being the beginning of COVID, were a little bit nervous about the market at the time and weren't sure how long it would take us to sell our house. And at that point in March, we didn't know what the future was going to look like. At that point, things were kind of starting to turn for the worst right when we listed our house. Didn't expect it to sell in a few hours, and it did, which in this market isn't going to surprise anybody. But it kind of caught us off guard. So that put us homeless for 6 months. So moved in with our parents, started the building process. And the building process is kind of what gave us a lot of inspiration for design in the show, kind of getting behind the scenes and designing from the bottom up. Was pretty fun.
Sure. And that process helped us understand potentially what mistakes to help others avoid in the build process. Mm-hmm. Where you can focus your time and your resources, and where you can potentially do things after the fact. Kind of like the project that you see here. We knew we had the inspiration in a blank slate in a new home, and where did we want to put our own personal touches as opposed to letting the builder do that.
Right.
We were lucky to have a great build process, and going back to your statement with living with your parents, special thank you to Tom and Vicki. For allowing us to be with them for almost 6 months. It was a great time of year to be living with the in-laws. Our kids got to benefit from them having a pool and all of the great weather in the summer. So it really made the process for us relatively painless. I'm sure they would probably share something a little bit differently there, but we were very fortunate.
Stories for another time.
Stories for another time. We were very fortunate to have that support system. So, going back to the build process, it was fantastic to be able to see and check in on a property pretty regularly, the entire process from start to finish, picking a lot, making selections. I'm sure most of you can understand how complicated it is, and some of you probably listening have gone through a similar process to pick all of your cabinets and your countertops and a lot of the things that drive the theme behind your home way in advance of ever being able to see a finished product, and doing that from a showroom. So we're no strangers to that.
I know. Thank goodness for Pinterest. Couldn't have done it without Pinterest giving me the ideas, because all you see are those little tiny swatches. You have like one cabinet door, a square of countertop, and it's like, how in the world can you picture all of this on a grand scale when all you have is a square to look at? So thank goodness for the resources out there that kind of give you some inspiration.
Yes, and if you choose the right builder, they're there to support you along the way as well, and that was an up and down experience, and then that really drives the importance, to your point, of having the right real estate agent standing there with you throughout that process and being an advocate for you when things come up that may be unforeseen. And that was something that we knew the value in, but that was really driven home to have additional representation through the build process, so that when we needed to convey a message or have somebody else maybe go to bat for us throughout the process, we had an additional resource in a trusted realtor and friend for allowing us to kind of fall into our dream home. And we're just very thankful for that.
Yeah.
again, 2020 for us and the motivation behind starting Hillcrest Ventures in this business was really all about us going through this stage of life together.
Yeah.
Wanting to create something that allowed us to share what we learned through that process and then help others through our trusted network along the way.
And I don't even know, I'm going to interrupt you, if it was just 2020, but we've been through, especially on real estate side or homeowning side, so many different experiences. And we felt like we needed to share that because we had a home that was built in 1980 where you weren't only dealing with like the fun design,
Right.
but I mean, you're dealing with, fixing up older things and how do you make this look like this 1980 old oak home look trendy and fun and fit your personality for today. So it's not just been 2020. I think this has been kind of our whole marriage leading up to this point. And I think 2020 was just kind of the tipping point where we were like, we actually have to do something about this because we felt like we knew not so much, but we had so much to offer for people. And especially with your background, knowing so many contractors, being able to share that with you guys, I think is awesome. So guys, it's been fun chatting with you and spending a few minutes kind of sharing our passions and dreams. I think one thing we really are interested in is hearing your guys' thoughts and what you're working on. And I don't know, Eric, what do you have to?
Sure. So feel free to always drop us a line, shoot us a message, whether it's through any of the formats or forums that we're on. We'd love to hear from you. We want to know about your goods, your bads, your uglies, and be able to spread that knowledge and wealth of knowledge, again, throughout this community. We see this as being a way to grow, even for ourselves, as we continue down through this path. And we'd love to hear from you guys. We want this to be certainly interactive, and we want to learn from you as much as potentially having the ability to learn from our positives and our setbacks throughout these different stages. So again, this is the start to something pretty special that we feel our community is going to continue to grow from. Thank you guys for joining us. What to expect next for All In Real Estate. Again, we're going to have some of the top contractors here locally, but the people that we know and trust to provide you with quality work and quality experience, hopefully on the show. Spring is right around the corner, and everyone is starting to shift their minds from inside of the home to the outside of the home. So be on the lookout for the next episode to be probably outward thinking. I would like to especially thank my business partner and wife, Sarah, and the man behind the camera making everything happen, Andrew Osborne. We really appreciate having you.
He has all the knowledge we don't, so thank
right.
you.
He's helping make this happen. One of these days we'll get your face on camera. And would like to especially thank a friend of mine and a longtime family friend, Todd Resume, for providing the music that you hear behind the episode and really the theme music to All In Real Estate. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Looking forward to having you next time. Again, we're making your dreams realty.
Bye, guys.